I want you to stop for a second and really think about your life. No distractions, no excuses, no lies. I want you to imagine yourself standing at the edge, staring into a place where there is no going back, a place where failure is not an option, because the only alternative is to rise or fall completely. This is not a metaphor, this is reality. The moment where your dreams, your future, your very potential is staring you right in the face, daring you to take it, daring you to fight for it, daring you to prove to yourself what you are truly made of. Most people will never get to this point because they are too comfortable in mediocrity. They settle for what is easy, what is safe, what does not challenge them to grow. And in doing so, they slowly fade into a life of what could have been. But you, yes, you are here because you are not satisfied with ordinary. You are here because deep down, you know you are capable of more. You know you are destined for more, and you know that the world will not hand it to you. You have to take it. Right now, I want you to feel that fire inside you, that burning desire that refuses to be ignored, that voice that whispers, I can't wait anymore. I have to act. I have to rise. That is the real you. That is the part of you that refuses to accept limitation, that refuses to bow to fear, and that refuses to settle for less than greatness. And I promise you, it is not easy. Nothing worth having ever is. You are going to face challenges that will shake you to your core. You are going to encounter fear that makes your chest tighten and doubt that clouds your mind. You are going to be tested in ways that will demand everything from you, everything. But I need you to understand something crucial. It is in these moments of extreme pressure, in these moments of total risk, that your transformation begins. It is when you are pushed to the edge that your potential finally shows itself. The comfort you cling to now is a cage. The excuses you tell yourself are chains. The hesitation, the procrastination, the fear, they are all illusions standing between you and the life you deserve. The question is this: are you ready to burn those illusions? Are you ready to stop running, stop hiding, and stop making excuses? Because the moment you make that choice, nothing can stop you. Today, I'm going to take you through a journey that will force you to confront yourself, face your fears, embrace pressure, and ignite a relentless drive you never thought you had. By the end of this, you will see clearly that there is only one way to achieve the life you want: to put yourself on death ground, to remove every safety net, and to commit to a level of action, focus, and mental toughness that the world has never seen from you before. So stay with me, stay focused, and stay hungry, because what I am about to show you will challenge everything you thought you knew about yourself. It will push you, it will stretch you, and if you let it, it will transform you. This is your life. This is your moment. And it starts the second you decide that ordinary is no longer acceptable. Total commitment is the point where half-hearted effort ceases to exist, where excuses and hesitations are burned to ashes, and where you understand that success doesn't wait for those who try. The moment you decide to put yourself on death ground, you are making a declaration to yourself and the universe that there is no retreat, no fallback, and no safety net. When people talk about commitment, they often misunderstand it as simply showing up, as simply trying, the willingness to go all in when others hold back. People talk about talent and opportunity as though they are the ultimate keys to success. But in reality, the person who puts themselves on death ground, who is totally committed, is the one who turns every obstacle into a stepping stone. Commitment transforms fear into action. When you know there's no backup plan, fear stops being an enemy and becomes a signal that you are in the right place, that you are stretching beyond what you thought possible. Every setback, every failure, every rejection becomes fuel, because you are invested so deeply that quitting is not an option. You see, partial commitment is dangerous because it gives you the illusion of progress while secretly preparing you for failure. When you are only halfway committed, your mind and body are still listening to comfort, laziness, and doubt. But when you are totally committed, these forces no longer have influence. You act without hesitation. You execute with precision. And you do what needs to be done even when it hurts, even when it's inconvenient, even when the world tells you no. Commitment at this level also demands accountability, not just to others, but to yourself. You must be brutally honest about where you are, what you are doing, and whether you are truly giving everything you have. No one can see the nights you sacrifice, the hours you grind, or the inner battles you fight in silence. But that is exactly why commitment must be total. It is about being willing to fight when no one is watching, to push when no one believes in you, and to endure when it feels like everything is against you. Putting yourself on death ground is the ultimate expression of total commitment. It means there is no retreat, no plan B, and no safety net. Your only option is to move forward, to fight, to execute, and to persevere until you achieve what you set out to do. This is where ordinary people falter. They want success, but they are unwilling to pay the full price. They want the rewards without the full risk. They want to taste victory without surrendering themselves completely. But those who understand total commitment know that the price of greatness is absolute, uncompromising, relentless investment of self in pursuit of a goal. Every action, every decision, every thought aligns with the objective. Life will test you. Life will push you to the brink. Life will whisper, scream, and sometimes shout at you to quit. But when total commitment is the foundation, nothing in the world can sway you. You move with urgency, precision, and an unshakable belief in the necessity of your actions. The intensity of this commitment is what separates champions from the crowd, leaders from followers, and those who live with purpose from those who drift through life. Commitment is not a moment, it is a lifestyle. It is waking up with fire in your soul every single day, no matter how tired, no matter how beaten down, no matter how many times the world tells you no. It is about prioritizing your goal above all else, because failure is no longer an option. It is a betrayal of everything you've invested, everything you've risked, and everything you are capable of becoming. Total commitment is about understanding that the life you want is worth every sacrifice, every ounce of energy, and every moment of discomfort. It is about burning the bridges that allow you to go back to your old ways and stepping into a reality where the only direction you can go is forward. When you put yourself on death ground, you embrace this commitment fully. You accept that the journey will be ruthless, the pressure will be relentless, and the struggle will be unending. But you also accept that the person you will become on the other side of that struggle is unstoppable. You'll not just survive, you will thrive. You will not just overcome, you will dominate. And this total commitment, this willingness to give everything without hesitation, is the ultimate key to transforming your life into the extraordinary vision that has been waiting for you all along. Total commitment is the fire that lights the path when the darkness is deepest. Total commitment is the refusal to accept mediocrity when excellence is within reach. Total commitment is the promise you make to yourself that no matter what, you will give everything, risk everything, and do everything necessary to win. There is no halfway. There is no plan B. There is only you, your grind, and the life you are determined to take. That is total commitment. And that is the first step toward putting yourself on death ground. The power of desperation is often misunderstood. Most people think desperation is weakness, a sign of failure, or something to avoid at all costs. They see it as a state of panic, a moment of last resort when everything is falling apart. But desperation, when channeled correctly, is one of the most potent forces a human being can wield. Desperation strips away comfort, eliminates excuses, and forces you to confront the reality that there is nothing left to hold on to except action. When you put yourself on death ground, when you place yourself in a situation where failure is not an option, desperation becomes your fuel, your guiding light, and your driving force. The truth is that most people never achieve greatness because they are comfortable. They have options. They have safety nets. They have fallback plans. And as long as there is a maybe or a plan B in their mind, their fire is never fully ignited. But desperation changes everything. Desperation awakens the dormant power within you. It forces your mind and body to operate at a level you never thought possible. T transforms fear into courage, hesitation into action, and doubt into relentless pursuit. When you are desperate, excuses no longer exist. The voice in your head that says, I can't, I'm too tired, I'll do it later, loses all power, because desperation does not negotiate. It demands. It doesn't care about comfort. It doesn't care about convenience. It only cares about results. Desperation is the ultimate equalizer. It doesn't matter where you come from, what resources you have, or how many times you fail. When you are desperate, you have the same intensity as someone with nothing to lose. And history shows that those who rise from nothing, those who achieve what others thought impossible, are the ones who harness the power of desperation. They didn't have the luxury of a safety net. They didn't have options. They had to succeed. And that urgency transformed them into forces that could not be stopped. When you embrace desperation, you learn to move with purpose and urgency. Every decision becomes critical. Every action becomes deliberate. And every moment becomes a step towards survival and success. You stop wasting time on trivial matters, meaningless distractions, and things that do not serve your objective. Desperation teaches you to prioritize. It forces you to separate what matters from what doesn't. And it trains you to focus on the actions that will bring results, no matter how hard, no matter how long it takes, and no matter the cost. Desperation also teaches humility. It shows you that you cannot rely on luck, chance, or the help of others. You are pushed to your limits and forced to discover strength you didn't know existed. When you are desperate, you learn to adapt, to innovate, and to fight in ways that complacency could never teach you. Your mind becomes sharper, your focus becomes laser-like, and your ability to endure pressure becomes unmatched. There is a certain clarity that comes from desperation. When all options are gone, all distractions are removed, and all excuses are eliminated, you see the path forward with crystal clarity. You realize that the only lie those willing to embrace the intensity of desperation will reach the summit. Desperation forces you to act decisively, relentlessly, and without hesitation. It removes procrastination, eliminates hesitation, and obliterates fear. When you are desperate, you realize that you cannot wait for the perfect moment, because perfect moments do not exist. There is only now. And if you do not act, the opportunity will pass. The power of desperation is a teacher that few are willing to learn from, but those who do are unstoppable. It demands more than effort. It demands everything. It strips away comfort and forces you to face the truth. If you do not take control, no one else will. And in that moment, when desperation becomes your driving force, you discover the depth of your potential, the breadth of your strength, and the unshakable will that resides within you. Desperation is not a weakness. It is your greatest weapon. It is the fire that lights the path when all else is dark. It is the force that pushes you to run when others sleep, to grind when others quit, and to fight when others surrender. The power of desperation is the difference between those who dream and those who achieve. It transforms ordinary people into warriors, obstacles into opportunities, and struggle into triumph. If you are ready to put yourself on death ground, to leave everything behind, and to risk it all for the life you deserve, then embrace desperation. Let it drive you, shape you, and mold you into someone who cannot be stopped. Desperation is not something to fear. It is something to harness. It is the key that unlocks your hidden strength, the force that propels you forward when all odds are against you, and the fire that ensures that nothing and no one can stand in your way. In the end, those who understand and embrace the power of desperation do not just survive. They dominate. They do not just reach their goals. They obliterate limits. They do not just exist. They thrive, they conquer, and they leave a mark on the world that cannot be erased. Desperation is the ultimate weapon, the ultimate teacher, and the ultimate force that transforms potential into reality. Those who are willing to wield it, to harness it fully, and to embrace its intensity will never be the same. They will rise, they will fight, and they will win. Fear is one of the most powerful forces in life, and yet it is the one thing that separates those who achieve greatness from those who settle for mediocrity. Most people spend their entire lives running from fear, hiding from it, and convincing themselves that it doesn't exist. But the truth is that fear is real, it is unavoidable, and it is meant to be confronted. When you put yourself on death ground, when you eliminate every safety net and leave no room for retreat, fear becomes inevitable. It creeps into your thoughts. It whispers doubts into your mind, and it tempts you to step back into comfort, to abandon the grind, to return to what feels safe. But facing fear head on is not just about courage. It is about understanding that fear is a signal, a compass pointing toward growth, transformation, and opportunity. Every time you encounter fear, every time your heart races and your mind screams, "I can't," it is a sign that you are standing on the edge of something extraordinary. Fear is not your enemy. It is the marker that tells you exactly where you need to go. Most people never reach their full potential because they mistake fear for danger, weakness, or a reason to stop. They shrink in its presence, and as a result, they never discover the strength, resilience, and power that lies on the other side. Facing fear head on is the ultimate act of commitment and self-mastery. It is the moment where you stare into the abyss and refuse to BL ink, where you acknowledge the possibility of failure and decide that success is worth more than comfort, more than safety, and more than approval from anyone else. Fear is universal, but the difference between those who succeed and those who fail is how they respond to it. Some people run from it, some people avoid it, and some people deny it. But the most successful people use it. They take the fear, hold it in their hands, and let it fuel their action. Fear sharpens focus. Fear heightens awareness. Fear demands preparation. When you face fear directly, you are forced to become more resourceful, more disciplined, and more determined. You can no longer rely on luck or chance. You must act. You must move. You must confront the challenges before you with relentless energy and unshakable resolve. Facing fear head on is not a single act. It is a lifestyle. It is a daily choice to do what terrifies you, to take the risks that others avoid, and to operate outside of the comfort zone that keeps most people trapped. Every time you encounter fear and move through it, you expand the boundaries of what is possible for yourself. You redefine your limits. You show yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. And with each victory over fear, no matter how small, your confidence grows, your resolve strengthens, and your momentum builds. Fear is often a reflection of potential. The more fear you feel, the closer you are to achieving something significant. When you feel fear in your chest, it's because your mind and body recognize the magnitude of the opportunity in front of you. They understand that the outcome matters, that the stakes are high, and that this is your chance to rise above mediocrity. To shrink from fear is to shrink from opportunity. To confront fear is to step into power. One of the greatest lies people tell themselves is that fear will go away if they wait long enough. They believe that time will make challenges smaller, that avoidance will make problems vanish, and that somehow comfort will become permanent. But fear does not dissipate. It only grows stronger when ignored. The longer you avoid it, the more intimidating it becomes. The only way to conquer fear is to face it directly, to stare it down, to take action in spite of it, and to keep moving forward no matter how uncomfortable, uncertain, or vulnerable you feel. Facing fear head on also teaches resilience. Life will throw obstacles at you that seem insurmountable. People will doubt you, opportunities will close, and circumstances will challenge everything you believe about yourself. Fear will appear in many forms: self-doubt, anxiety, failure, rejection. But each time you confront it, you become stronger. You develop a mindset that is unshakable, a confidence that is unbreakable, and a courage that cannot be bought or borrowed. Fear is a test. It measures your desire, your determination, and your willingness to sacrifice for the life you want. It separates those who are willing to endure discomfort for greatness from those who are content with ordinary. Facing fear head on requires mental toughness, emotional control, and relentless focus. It demands that you silence the voices in your head that tell you to quit, that you are not good enough, or that the risk is too great. You must remind yourself that fear is temporary, but regret is permanent. Every time you act in spite of fear, you build momentum, and momentum becomes unstoppable. Fear also clarifies purpose. When you are afraid, it often points directly to what matters most. It highlights the opportunities that are worth pursuing, the risks that are worth taking, and the challenges that are worth enduring. To ignore fear is to ignore the signals that guide you toward growth. To face fear is to fold out the path that leads to transformation. When you put yourself on death ground, fear becomes a constant companion, but it also becomes your teacher. It forces you to grow, to stretch, to push beyond what you thought possible. It reminds you that comfort and safety are not the currencies of greatness. Courage, action, and relentless pursuit are. Facing fear head on is not about the absence of fear. It is about mastery over fear. It is about taking control, stepping into uncertainty, and refusing to allow doubt to dictate your actions. The more you confront fear, the more you realize that you are capable of enduring discomfort, overcoming obstacles, and achieving the extraordinary. The people who rise above, who leave mediocrity behind, who create the lives they deserve, are not those without fear. They are those who face it repeatedly, relentlessly, and with unwavering determination. They understand that every moment of fear is an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to demonstrate courage. They understand that fear is not an obstacle, but a sign that they are on the right path, that they are stretching towards something significant, and that they are alive. Fear cannot be eliminated, but it can be mastered. The key is action. Action in the face of fear transforms it from a barrier into a bridge, from a threat into an ally, from hesitation into power. Each time you step forward despite fear, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than your doubts, braver than your anxieties, and more capable than you ever imagined. Facing fear head on is the essence of growth, the heartbeat of success, and the foundation of transformation. If you are willing to confront the fears that hold you back, to stare into the discomfort that others avoid, and to take bold action in spite of uncertainty, then you are stepping onto the path of greatness. The moment you choose to face fear direct, lie is the moment you stop being a spectator in your own life and become the architect of your destiny. Fear may never disappear, but your ability to act in spite of it will define who you are and what you achieve. The people who understand this truth are unstoppable. They move forward while others hesitate. They rise while others fall. They create while others wait. Fear is a teacher, a guide, and a force that signals opportunity. When you embrace it, master it, and act in spite of it, nothing in the world can stop you. Facing fear head on is not optional if you want greatness. It is required. It is the key to unlocking the power that lies dormant within you, the courage to take risks, and the resilience to endure whatever challenges life throws at you. It is the ultimate test of strength, determination, and willpower. Confront fear, harness its energy, and let it propel you toward the extraordinary life you are meant to live. Relentless action is the bridge between dreams and reality, the force that separates those who talk about what they want from those who actually achieve it. Too many people spend their lives planning, waiting, and hoping that success will come to them. But the truth is that success is never given. It is taken, earned, and claimed through relentless action. Putting yourself on death ground is not enough if you do not move with urgency. You can remove all safety nets, ignite desperation, and confront fear head on. But if you do not act with total intensity, all of that preparation is wasted. Relentless action is not just about being busy. It is not about filling your day with activity for the sake of feeling productive. It is about taking focused, purposeful, and consistent steps toward your goal every single day, no matter how difficult, uncomfortable, or exhausting it may be. Most people fail because they underestimate the power of consistent acti. They believe that talent, opportunity, or even intelligence alone will carry them to success. But without action, all of these advantages remain dormant. Relentless action is the engine that turns potential into results. It is the muscle that transforms vision into reality. It is the fire that burns through excuses, fear, and doubt, leaving nothing in its path but progress. Action demands sacrifice. It requires that you give up comfort, convenience, and the false security of waiting for the perfect moment. There's no perfect moment. There is only now. And now is the time to move. Every day you delay, every hour you procrastinate is a moment wasted that you can never recover. Relentless action means showing up when others sleep, grinding when others quit, and pushing when everyone else takes a break. It means doing what is necessary, even when it is painful, inconvenient, or exhausting. It is the refusal to let temporary discomfort dictate your long-term results. When you act relentlessly, you create momentum. Momentum is the force that carries you forward, even when the obstacles seem insurmountable. It is the product of consistent, disciplined effort over time. Momentum turns small victories into big wins, setbacks into lessons, and struggles into fuel. The person who moves relentlessly does not wait for motivation. They create it through action. Every step, every effort, every attempt compounds into a trajectory that cannot be stopped. Relentless action also requires courage. Taking action often means stepping into the unknown, confronting uncertainty, and risking failure. It means being willing to look foolish, to be criticized, and to face rejection. But those who understand the power of relentless action know that these risks are not obstacles. They are part of the process. They are the price of progress, and they must be paid without hesitation. The key to our relentless action is consistency. It is not enough to act in bursts of energy, followed by long periods of inactivity. Consistency turns effort into habit, habit into discipline, and discipline into results. You must act daily, even when you are tired, even when you feel like giving up, and even when the world seems to be against you. Consistent action is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who only dream about them. Relentless action also demands focus. In a world full of distractions, noise, and competing priorities, the ability to direct your energy toward what truly matters is rare. You must eliminate distractions, prioritize ruthlessly, and dedicate your efforts exclusively to the actions that move you closer to your goal. Anything that does not contribute to your success must be ignored, delayed, or eliminated. Action without focus is wasted effort. Focused action, however, creates results that compound over time. Another aspect of relentless action is adaptability. The path to success is never straight. Obstacles, failures, and unexpected challenges will arise, and those who act relentlessly understand that action is not just about moving forward blindly, it is about moving intelligently. It is about observing, learning, adjusting, and continuing despite setbacks. The relentless actor does not stop because the path is difficult. They stop only when the goal is achieved. Relentless action also teaches patience through persistence. Many people give up because they expect immediate results. They act for a short period, see no instant outcome, and conclude that their efforts are in vain. But those who understand relentless action know that success is a marathon, not a sprint. It is the cumulative effect of consistent effort over time. The results may not come immediately, but the action itself is creating the foundation for future victories. Taking relentless action requires mental toughness. There will be days when you do not feel like moving, when fatigue, doubt, or fear attempts to paralyze you. There will be moments when the world seems to conspire against your progress. But relentless action is about refusing to let your feelings dictate your actions. It is about doing what must be done, whether you feel like it or not. Every step taken in spite of resistance builds resilience, character, and confidence. Relentless action transforms ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. It is the force that turns dreams into goals, goals into plans, and plans into results. It is the difference between those who remain spectators in their own lives and those who are architects of their destiny. When you act relentlessly, you are no longer waiting for life to happen to you. You are making it happen for you. Relentless action is contagious. The energy it produces attracts opportunity, aligns circumstances, and draws people who recognize and respect the intensity of your effort. The more consistently and intensely you act, the more your environment responds, opening doors that were previously invisible. Putting yourself on death ground amplifies the necessity of relentless action. When there is no safety net, no fallback, and no option to quit, your actions become your lifeline. You are forced to move, to execute, and to produce results. The pressure of having everything on the line removes hesitation, indecision, and doubt, leaving only focused, deliberate, unstoppable effort. Relentless action also fosters confidence. Action creates evidence, and evidence builds belief. Every time you take decisive steps towards your goal, you prove to yourself that you are capable. You reinforce the truth that you have what it takes to overcome obstacles, endure challenges, and achieve extraordinary results. In the absence of action, belief falters, doubt grows, and fear gains strength. Action silences the noise, provides clarity, and builds momentum that carries you forward. Relentless action is the embodiment of urgency. It recognizes that time is finite, that opportunities are fleeting, and that every moment wasted is a moment lost forever. Those who act relentlessly refuse to let life pass them by. They seize the day, pursue their goals with intensity, and refuse to settle for anything less than what they are capable of achieving. Ultimately, relentless action is about taking control. It is about refusing to leave your success to chance, luck, or the decisions of others. It is about stepping into your power, committing to your vision, and moving with unwavering intensity toward the life you are meant to create. It is the fuel that turns desire into reality, the force that transforms potential into results, and the discipline that ensures your grind never stops until victory is inevitable. Relentless action is not an option. It is a requirement. It is the language of champions, the heartbeat of success, and the only path to true transformation. If you are ready to put yourself on death ground, then act relentlessly. Let every day, every hour, every moment be consumed with the urgency, intensity, and focus necessary to achieve greatness. Do not wait, do not hesitate, and do not settle. Move forward, take control, and let your relentless action define your destiny. Mental toughness is the foundation on which all extraordinary achievement is built. It is the armor that protects you from the doubts, fears, and pressures of life. And it is the weapon that allows you to keep moving when everyone else has given up. Mental toughness is not something you are born with. It is forged through challenge, pressure, and relentless discipline. When you put yourself on death ground, you are forced to develop his toughness because there is no room for weakness, hesitation, or surrender. Life will test you in ways that seem impossible. People will doubt you, circumstances will challenge you, and failures will confront you at every turn. Those who lack mental toughness crumble under pressure, allowing obstacles to stop them and letting setbacks define their path. But those who are mentally tough see these same challenges not as barriers, but as opportunities to strengthen their mind, sharpen their focus, and deepen their resolve. Mental toughness is about resilience in the face of adversity. It is the ability to keep going when your body screams for rest, when your mind begs for comfort, and when the world seems determined to see you fail. It is the inner voice that says, I will not quit. I will not give up. I will not settle, even when every external signal encourages you to do the opposite. Mental toughness requires discipline. It is about controlling your thoughts, managing your emotions, and taking deliberate actions, even when the conditions are unfavorable. It is about developing the habit of responding rather than reacting, of acting with clarity instead of panic. The mentally tough individual understands that the mind is the battlefield and victory begins there. When you are mentally tough, fear loses its power over you. Doubt becomes a tool, not a barrier. Pain transforms from a signal to quit into a signal to grow. Every obstacle is reframed as a test of endurance, every setback as an opportunity to rise stronger, and every moment of discomfort as a step toward greatness. Mental toughness also demands self-awareness. You must understand your weaknesses, acknowledge your limitations, and confront the internal narratives that hold you back. It requires brutal honesty with yourself, the ability to recognize when you are making excuses, and the courage to push past bait. Those who are mentally tough do not allow negative self-talk, criticism, or external pressures to derail their progress. Instead, they use these forces as fuel, allowing the pressure to shape them rather than break them. Mental toughness is also about persistence. It is about refusing to quit when success seems distant, when progress is slow, and when the effort required feels overwhelming. It is about understanding that the path to greatness is rarely linear, that setbacks are inevitable, and that persistence is the key to breaking through the barriers that separate ordinary people from extraordinary achievers. One of the most critical aspects of mental toughness is adaptability. Life is unpredictable, and challenges rarely come in the form we expect. Mental toughness allows you to adjust, pivot, and respond effectively to whatever circumstances arise. It is the flexibility to stay committed to your goal while changing your approach as needed, ensuring that obstacles do not become permanent roadblocks. Mental toughness is forged in the moments when you are tested the most. It is built through sacrifice, struggle, and endurance. The nights you stay up grinding while others sleep, the hours you spend honing your skills while others rest, and the relentless pursuit of your goal even when the world doubts you. These are the moments that forge a mind that cannot be broken. Mental toughness is also about focus. It is the ability to eliminate distractions, ignore negativity, and concentrate your energy on what truly matters. The mentally tough individual understands that attention is a limited resource and that where you place it determines your results. By maintaining unwavering focus on their objective, they ensure that every action, decision, and effort contributes directly to their success. Another element of mental toughness is emotional control. Challenges and pressure sure can trigger fear, anger, frustration, and self-doubt. But mental toughness allows you to manage these emotions instead of being controlled by them. It gives you the ability to remain calm under pressure, think clearly in chaotic situations, and make decisions based on strategy rather than impulse. Mental toughness also requires accountability. It is about taking full responsibility for your actions, decisions, and outcomes without blaming others or circumstances. It is the understanding that your life is the result of your choices and that you alone have the power to change it. Those who are mentally tough embrace this responsibility, knowing that excuses are the enemy of progress and that accountability is the cornerstone of growth. Mental toughness is not passive, it is active. It demands daily effort, deliberate practice, and constant reinforcement. It is built through repetition, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of improvement. Each challenge faced, each fear confronted, and each obstacle overcome adds another layer of strength to the mind. Being mentally tough does not mean that you never feel fear, doubt, or pain. It means that you act despite them. It means that you use these experiences to grow, to learn, and to propel yourself forward rather than allowing them to paralyze you. The person with mental toughness does not wait for conditions to be perfect, for motivation to appear, or for challenges to disappear. They act consistently, persistently, and with unwavering determination. They understand that greatness is earned through struggle, refined through pressure, and solidified through endurance. Mental toughness is the difference between giving up when life gets hard and pushing forward until you succeed. It is what allows you to rise after failure, to continue when others quit, and to maintain focus when the world is chaotic. It is the quality that ensures your commitment is unshakable. Your actions are consistent and your vision is unstoppable. When you put yourself on death ground, mental toughness becomes essential. There is no room for weakness, hesitation, or doubt. Every challenge, every setback, and every obstacle is amplified. And the only way to survive and thrive is to develop an unbreakable mind. Mental toughness gives you the clarity, strength, and resilience to endure, adapt, and dominate in any circumstance. Ultimately, mental toughness is about becoming unshakable. It is about developing a mind that cannot be intimidated, discouraged, or derailed. It is about rising above fear, doubt, and adversity with relentless focus and unwavering determination. Mental toughness transforms ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. It is the foundation upon which success is built, the armor that shields you from life's pressures, and the weapon that allows you to persevere when the world says no. If you are willing to put yourself on death ground, embrace the pressure, and push beyond every limit, mental toughness will carry you through. It is the key to enduring struggle, conquering challenges, and achieving greatness that others only dream of. The mentally tough individual does not just survive, they dominate. They do not just overcome, they thrive. They do not just endure, they inspire. Mental toughness is the fire within that refuses to be extinguished, the steel in your mind that cannot be bent, and the force that ensures nothing in this world can stop you from becoming who you were meant to be. Focus without distraction is the single most powerful skill that separates those who achieve greatness from those who drift through life with wasted potential. It is the ability to direct every ounce of your mental, emotional, and physical energy toward the goal you have set, ignoring every voice, temptatio, and noise that tries to pull you away. Most people fail not because they lack talent, intelligence, or opportunity, but because they lack focus. They are scattered, pulled in multiple directions, and easily swayed by trivial matters that steal time, energy, and momentum. When you put yourself on death ground, the necessity of focus becomes non-negotiable. There's no room for wandering attention, no space for distraction, and no luxury of splitting your energy between what matters and what doesn't. True focus demands total clarity about what you want, why you want it, and what you are willing to do to achieve it. It is not enough to have a goal. You must immerse yourself completely in it, allowing nothing else to interfere with the execution of your vision. Distractions come in many forms: social media, idle conversations, toxic relationships, unproductive habits, and even your own wandering thoughts. Each one, small as it may seem, chips away at your energy and attention. When focus is absent, even the most brilliant plans fail because energy that should be building results is dissipated on things that do not matter. Focus without distraction requires a ruthless elimination of these energy drains. It demands that you make conscious choices about how to spend every hour, every minute, and every second of your day. It means prioritizing what will move you closer to your goal and refusing to engage in anything that does not serve your purpose. When you embrace this discipline, your productivity multiplies exponentially. Focus sharpens your decision making. It allows you to act quickly and decisively without hesitation or second guessing. When your mind is free from distraction, clarity emerges. You see the path ahead with precision. You recognize the opportunities that others overlook. You are able to navigate obstacles efficiently because your attention is aligned with your objective, not diluted by irrelevant noise. Focus without distraction also strengthens mental resilience. The world will constantly attempt to divert your attention. People will question your decisions. Circumstances will challenge your progress, and internal doubts will try to derail you. But when focus is trained and unwavering, these external and internal pressures lose their ability to influence your actions. Your energy remains directed, your mind remains clear, and your efforts remain consistent. This kind of focus is not passive, it is intentional. It is cultivated through practice, discipline, and repeated reinforcement. Just like a muscle, the mind grows stronger when exercised with deliberate attention. Each time you resist a distraction, each time you redirect your attention to what truly matters, your mental capacity to focus expands. Focus without distraction also requires sacrifice. There will be moments when other people, pleasures, or comforts demand your attention. You will be tempted to engage, to participate, or to indulge. But the disciplined individual understands that focus is more valuable than temporary enjoyment. Every hour spent distracted is an hour lost in building the life you desire. Focus is about long-term vision overriding short-term temptation. In addition, focus without distraction amplifies learning and mastery. The more concentrated your effort, the faster your skills develop, the deeper your understanding grows, and the greater your competence becomes. When you commit to focus, you allow yourself to delve into the task fully, to understand it profoundly, and to execute with precision that others cannot match. Multitasking is the enemy of mastery. Divided attention dilutes effort, slows progress, and prevents excellence. True focus requires single-minded dedication to the task that matters most at any given moment. Focus without distraction also fosters resilience in the face of pressure. When the stakes are high and the challenges are intense, the ability to concentrate on what is essential allows you to remain calm, make rational decisions, and execute under pressure. Distractions create hesitation, doubt, and mistakes. Focus eliminates them. The most successful people in the world are not those who have more time or resources. They are those who know how to focus their energy where it matters most. Focus is leverage. When combined with relentless action, total commitment, and mental toughness, it multiplies results and accelerates progress at a rate that others cannot match. Focus without distraction also demands self-awareness. You must know what triggers your wandering attention. Recognize the habits that steal your energy and confront the tendencies that lead you astray. By becoming conscious of your distractions, you can take deliberate steps to neutralize them, ensuring that your energy remains aligned with your goals. Focus transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. Two people can spend the same amount of time working, but the one who is focused will achieve in hours what the unfocused person cannot achieve in days. Focus magnifies productivity, accelerates growth, and ensures that every action contributes to the bigger picture. Focus without distraction is not a temporary strategy. It is a lifestyle. It is the consistent choice to value your vision above fleeting pleasures, to prioritize long-term results over short-term comfort, and to dedicate yourself entirely to the execution of your plan. It is a practice of discipline that must be reinforced daily, moment by moment. Focus is also freedom. When your attention is aligned, when distractions are eliminated, and when your mind is clear, you are free to act with power, precision, and clarity. You are no longer Rhea. E, that tests every ounce of your resolve, challenges every belief you hold about yourself, and pushes you beyond the limits you once thought were unbreakable. Most people run from pressure, fearing the intensity, the discomfort, and the responsibility it brings. They avoid situations where stakes are high because pressure exposes weakness, reveals uncertainty, and demands performance when there is no guarantee of success. But pressure is not the enemy. It is the gateway to transformation. When you put yourself on death ground, when there is no safety net, no fallback plan, and no option to quit, pressure becomes the catalyst that forces you to evolve, adapt, and grow into the person capable of achieving your dreams. Transformation through pressure is about recognizing that every challenge, every obstacle, and every difficult circumstance is an opportunity to rise. It is the understanding that pressure does not crush you unless you allow it to, and that the intensity of the situation will shape you if you choose to embrace it. Pressure is a teacher, and its lessons are unforgiving. It reveals who you truly are when distractions are stripped away, comfort is removed, and the world demands everything you have. Under pressure, excuses are meaningless, hesitation is fatal, and only action counts. The pressure you face is not random. It is precisely aligned with the growth you need. The greater the challenge, the greater the opportunity for transformation. Those who shrink under pressure never reach their potential, but those who step into it, confront it, and endure it come out stronger, wiser, and more capable on the other side. Transformation through pressure requires courage. It demands that you confront fear, uncertainty, and doubt head on, knowing that the discomfort you feel is temporary, but the results of your resilience will last a lifetime. Pressure tests your calm, commitment, your mental toughness, and your willingness to sacrifice everything in pursuit of your vision. It forces you to dig deeper than you ever thought possible, to fight harder than you believed you could, and to persist when every instinct tells you to quit. Those who embrace pressure understand that it accelerates growth. Comfort may allow you to exist, but pressure propels you into a higher state of performance, focus, and discipline. When the stakes are high, your mind becomes sharper, your actions become more deliberate, and your resolve becomes unbreakable. Transformation through pressure is also about self-discovery. Under intense circumstances, you learn what you are truly made of. You discover strengths you didn't know you had, capabilities you never realized existed, and resilience that surprises even yourself. Pressure exposes weakness, yes, but it also reveals the untapped power within you, the part of you that refuses to surrender, that will fight for every inch, and that will rise even when the world expects you to fall. The process is uncomfortable, sometimes excruciating, and often lonely. Pressure demands sacrifice. It asks you to give up comfort, leisure, and sometimes even relationships that do not align with your growth. It tests your patience, endurance, and ability to focus under strain. But the reward for enduring pressure is a transformation that cannot be achieved through ease, convenience, or safety. Transformation through pressure also refines character. It develops discipline, humility, and an unshakable work ethic. Those who endure pressure learn to act with integrity even when no one is watching, to remain disciplined even when outcomes are uncertain, and to maintain courage when failure seems imminent. Pressure cultivates the mindset of a champion, the resilience of a warrior, and the clarity of someone who understands that struggle is not punishment, it is preparation. Under pressure, priorities become clear, distractions fade, excuses evaporate, and the trivial concerns that once consumed your attention fall away. The only thing that matters is the task at hand, the goal in front of you, and the action required to achieve it. Pressure forces focus, eliminates indecision, and demands immediate results. Transformation through pressure is not instantaneous. It is the result of repeated exposure, consistent effort, and persistent endurance. Each time you face a high-stakes situation, each time you navigate a challenge that seems impossible, your mind grows stronger, your confidence increases, and your ability to perform under stress improves. The cumulative effect of pressure shapes you into someone capable of handling even greater challenges in the future. Pressure also teaches adaptability. Circumstances rarely go according to plan, and the ability to pivot, adjust, and respond effectively under strain is essential. Those who embrace pressure learn to innovate, to problem solve under constraints, and to find solutions when options appear limited. The pressure that initially seemed like a burden becomes the training ground for creativity, resourcefulness, and resilience. Transformation through pressure is about persistence. The journey to greatness is never smooth. It is littered with obstacles, setbacks, and moments that test your endurance. Those who succumb to pressure abandon their goals, allowing temporary discomfort to dictate their fate. But those who persist through pressure develop an unbreakable mindset, a relentless work ethic, and the confidence that no obstacle can stop them. Pressure forces action, accountability, and urgency. It removes the luxury of delay, hesitation, and indecision. When you are on death ground, pressure becomes the driving force that compels you to move, to execute, to fight for every opportunity. Transformation is born from action, and action is fueled by pressure. Pressure also reveals the value of time and effort. When stakes are high, every decision, every step, and every ounce of energy carries weight. There is no room for wasted effort or idle moments. Transformation through pressure teaches you to maximize every opportunity, to use your time intentionally, and to treat each action as critical to your ultimate success. Those who embrace pressure understand that life rewards those who act decisively and relentlessly. Transformation through pressure creates leaders. It instills confidence, courage, and the ability to guide others through adversity. People who have been tested by pressure develop empathy, resilience, and the wisdom to navigate challenges not only for themselves, but for those they lead. Pressure builds character, strength, and the kind of presence that commands respect without demanding it. Finally, transformation through pressure is about realizing potential. It is the recognition that the discomfort, struggle, and intensity you face are not punishments, but opportunities to become the person you were meant to be. Pressure accelerates growth, amplifies performance, and ensures that those who endure it are capable of achieving what most consider impossible. It is the forge in which ordinary people are molded into extraordinary achievers. When you embrace pressure fully, you understand that success is not given. It is earned through intensity, endurance, and a willingness to rise above every challenge. Transformation through pressure is the ultimate path to greatness. It requires courage, discipline, focus, resilience, and relentless action. It demands that you put yourself on death ground, remove every safety net, and commit fully to the pursuit of your vision. Those who succeed are not the ones who avoid it. Pressure, they are the ones who harnessed it, endured it, and allowed it to shape them into warriors capable of achieving the extraordinary. Pressure does not just test you, it transforms you. It removes the unnecessary, exposes the essential, and forces growth at a level that comfort never could. When you embrace the intensity, endure the struggle, and take decisive action under pressure, you will emerge stronger, wiser, and unstoppable. Transformation through pressure is the key to unlocking your full potential, the crucible of greatness, and the defining force that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Now, listen closely, because this is where it all comes together. Every step we've talked about, every keynote, every strategy, every moment of intensity is leading you to one undeniable truth. If you want to change your life, if you want to achieve what others say is impossible, you must put yourself on death ground. You cannot wait for comfort. You cannot wait for certainty. And you cannot wait for someone to hand you success on a silver platter. Life does not work that way. You must force yourself into the situations that demand everything from you. The moments where quitting is an option, where fear is screaming at you to turn back, and where the weight of responsibility feels unbearable. That is where transformation happens. That is where greatness is born. You have to commit fully, relentlessly, and without hesitation. There is no half measure. There is no tomorrow that will save you if you waste today. You must take action now, even if your hands shake, even if your knees quiver, and even if your mind doubts every step. Because the people who succeed are not those who waited for the perfect conditions. They are the ones who acted when everything inside them said to stop. You will feel fear. You will feel pressure. You will feel doubt. That is part of the process. Those feelings are not enemies. They are signals that you are on the edge of something extraordinary. Lean into them. Use them. Let them drive you harder, faster, and further than you ever thought possible. Every challenge you face, every obstacle you endure, and every moment you persist in spite of difficulty is building the person who is capable of taking your life to heights you have only dreamed of. Do not waste time worrying about comfort, about safety, about approval, or about avoiding failure. Failure is temporary. Regret is permanent. Action is your weapon. Focus is your shield, and mental toughness is your foundation. When you combine these with courage and relentless effort, you create a force that nothing in this world can stop. And hear me clearly, this is not for everyone. It is not meant for those satisfied with mediocrity or those afraid of discomfort. It is meant for the few who are willing to stare into the abyss, embrace the pressure, and fight for a life of greatness. You have to want it more than anything else. You have to be willing to risk everything, because the people who achieve extraordinary results are the ones who left no room for retreat. So I am challenging you right now. Look at your life. Look at your goals and ask yourself, are you ready to commit fully, to put yourself on death ground, and to fight with everything you have? Because the moment you make that decision, everything changes. The fear that held you back will become fuel. The pressure that crushed you will become your teacher. The distractions that slowed you will disappear. And the person you become on the other side will be unstoppable, unshakable, and unmatched. This is your moment. This is your life. Do not waste it. Step into the fire. Embrace the struggle and put yourself on death ground. Your greatness is waiting on the other side, and it will not wait forever.